Welcome back to the Endure Athletics podcast. My name is Eric Fisher. I'm in the host chair. We're flipping the script
Flipping
today.
it up. Yeah, man.
I'm asking the questions. I'm local to Murfreesboro here and work closely with Endure Athletics, and I love them. And we're trying to shine light a little bit differently on what's going on. Looking at the past month,
Yeah.
in December, kind of following some of our kind of newsletter format. Look at program highlights, Hall of Fame moments, what we're calling Hall of Fame moments, things that happen that are worth celebrating, that we should really just hold up on a pedestal and look up and honor on a day-to-day basis, whether that's sponsorship or kids moments or breakthroughs, things like that. And then upcoming events. So really just digging in to all things Endure Athletics as what's happened, what's happening, and what's happening next. And
Absolutely.
Pretty excited about that. So
I appreciate you being here.
of course, man. It's good to be here. I'm honored. This is fun. I like this chair. I think is comfier.
Yeah, I know. I told Trent that,
It's good. It's good. All right. So let's jump in.
Yeah.
Okay. So December, no matter what you're doing in any industry, any organization, is crazy. There's a lot going on. Hopefully good, but there's a lot. December's packed full with a lot of emotions, feelings, activities, agenda items, all those things. And certainly true for Endure Athletics.
Absolutely.
Right? So we have the Christmas season.
Yes.
What goes into the thought process first before we get into the actual events? What are you thinking about as far as delivering for the kids in this season?
So that's a great question. Everything that we do, man, we really try to focus on the kids' their needs, not what we want to do, not what we think. What do they need, right? And so that's a lot of it is what they need. How can we help them in a positive manner without just dropping a garbage bag full of unwrapped gifts at their door? What can we do to actually have an impact on their lives and really show them that we really care, genuinely care and love them? So that's our focus, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah. So that's the holiday season thesis statement. Like, this is where we're going to start.
Yes.
And then how it comes to fruition. And certainly this year, among the last couple of years, has been a little bit different, but we've maybe been able to do a few more things. And I think I want to start with the Christmas party.
Sure.
How did that go? What went into it?
So, throughout the years, we've always been trying to go to different places on Christmas for our Christmas party. And this year we had a great opportunity to go to Sky Zone.
Oh, nice.
So we rented out Sky Zone only for us. So we had just under 70 kids there, all with Endure, had the whole place to ourselves. And man, it was just an amazing time, right? So much of what we do again is time, right? It's investing that time in the kids. It's the high fives, it's the hugs, it's the hey, watch me do this. Right. Hey, did you watch me do that? Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then through that, of course, everybody got gifts. We're blessed with amazing sponsors that I'm sure we'll dig into here in a little bit. But all of our kids get brand new Nike shoes.
Awesome.
Which is great going back to school, right? We all need new shoes. Everybody needs them. And so everybody got those. Everybody got their custom Endure hoodies, which is a tradition for 6 years for us.
That's awesome.
And then because of generous sponsors, everybody got Nike slides, which are, just a nice, cool little gift. And then our younger girls, instead of the slides, they get more of a like an American Girl doll thing.
Cool.
So it's super exciting, and just the smiles on their face, they knowing that you care about them. And they're useful items, right?
Yeah.
They're not just going to get thrown in the trash can and break tomorrow. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, there's just so many pictures that come in my mind as when you're thinking about a party and 70 kids.
That's why we have to rent out the whole place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not only our staff is there, but they have their staff there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's why we got to take it all, man. Take it all over.
Cut the tape and watch them run in there.
And they were super excited. I mean, there's as far as a place for kids to go to have fun.
Yeah.
And when a specific moment, one of our young men that has been with us for 6 years, he's now more of a mentor And I walked over to him, big smile on his face, and he's just watching the other kids, right? And I'm like, "Hey, man, what do you think, man?" He's like, "This is awesome. So excited for them,"
Oh, that's
is
cool.
what he said. I'm like, "My man,
That's
that's what I'm
awesome.
talking about."
Yeah, that's
So,
really cool.
super cool.
Yeah, I mean, in any context, those parties, in addition to everything you're already doing on a daily basis, those like I think forge the memories and stamp them in time and say, where were you? You remember that time that
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
a double flip
yeah,
or when I
yeah,
got you out in dodgeball, whatever it was, you know?
yeah. We just we had a great sponsor with our pictures, and we'll put that in the link below. Um, and she came and took amazing pictures of all of our kids, and of course we can't share those publicly, but we can share them internally. And looking at the smiles in the fun that these kids were having was just amazing, because then you can stop for a minute and you can look at one of them, and you can look at the life that this little 12, 13-year-old girl has had. And like, it's hard to smile sometimes, but having her have joy that we're there, joy that somebody's paying attention to her, um, man, and somebody cares to do a Christmas party. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're not dropping off a garbage bag.
Right. Well, I mean,
Sorry, Frank.
well, that brings me a little bit to
it's personal. Christmas is personal,
Absolutely.
and they know it, and we know it, and that is the big part of December for us, is keeping it personal, keeping it authentic, and not just doing stuff to do stuff.
Well, I think part of what's special from my perspective anyways with Endure is that you're able to keep that personal approach and connection and building relationships in such an authentic way, while also having the understanding that this is a community effort. I mean, there are people on the outside that help this happen,
Absolutely.
that may not want to be there in the circle celebrating with them, but man, they pour their love into it. And I kind of want to talk about that because we do feature it a good bit in the newsletter. Who put their hand or their stamp on this party in a special way.
First off, I want to give the Jones Mission, Alex and Ben Jones. He's our Tennessee Titan.
Yeah.
He's been in the league this is his 10th year.
That's awesome.
Titans are getting ready to go in the playoffs. Super excited, right here in Nashville.
Absolutely.
And so they've been involved with us for the last few years. And normally before season, they'll do a fundraiser, and they've supported us throughout that time. They were the first people that called us when COVID hit, like, "Hey, how can we help? What do you guys need?" And they donated for that, for our food boxes and different things. And right before Christmas, of course, just another email. "Hey, what can we do to help? We want to help out at Christmas time. What can we do?" And so, of course, they're big believers in what we do, and we're just super thankful to have them involved. So we have the Jones Mission, and then United Real Estate of Middle Tennessee. They're our hoodie sponsors. They do a great job with getting all of their agents together to be able to support and buy our hoodies for all of our kids. And then we had a bunch of individuals as well that would donate for the shoes, donate for hoodies. So definitely a community effort at Christmas time. And the more we continue to grow, we're going to need more and more and more of that community involvement.
Right. Yeah. The calls to action are out there.
Yeah.
And people respond, which is awesome.
And just to touch on, on Christmas Day, we went out and we delivered 27 lasagna Christmas meals to all of our families. And
awesome.
Talk about the community coming together. I think we had 17 families on Christmas Day prepare meals for families and drop them off at our central location for us to distribute. That's Christmas.
That's
Christmas. So
amazing. And so much of Endure Athletics makes sure that it touches on Christ-centered mentorship, and there is a lot of that one-on-one connection and leadership and things like that. 17 families taking away from their own moments to deliver and serve. On Christmas Day paints the picture.
Christmas meals on Christmas.
So I was going to ask about that. I was going to ask about the timing. So the Christmas party was before.
It was we try to do that before winter break.
Yeah.
So they have, when they conclude their school year, do that Saturday before winter break, get all their stuff, have that moment, and then we'll have that touch on Christmas Day with everybody.
I think it's important to note that, for me anyways, is to say, not only are we collaborating with all these great partnerships and sponsors like the Jones Mission and United Real Estate and all these individuals, and throwing a party because we have the resources, and then say, all right, have a good holiday season. Then we double down and say, you know what, Christmas is still really important. We still care about you. Here's a hot meal and a love and a smile and a hug, because it's just real. And I think that's important to highlight.
Absolutely. It is, because again, sometimes we forget that the majority of our families only have that hot plate, right?
Yeah.
That's all they have to be able to cook. And everybody wants a Christmas meal, right? I mean, it just brings the whole family together. And if they could just enjoy a big meal together instead of trying to cook something off their hot plate, I think it's, again, it's one of our traditions that has gone on for 6 years.
Yeah.
So, and it's grown.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that Christmas season, I think it's fair to say, again, from my perspective, you delivered on your thesis statement. You found ways to care about them and love them. And there's a thanks to go around to so many people that contribute to that. Yeah. And we'd be foolish not to bring that back to the forefront over and over again, because as great as Endure Athletics is as a standalone organization, it cannot sustain itself without that support.
Absolutely.
It cannot do it. So
absolutely.
Christmas season sounds awesome.
Yeah, man.
It was magical from the reviews. I've been really fortunate to be a part of that kind of review process and piecing together some of those things. And then right on the heels of Christmas, you have an event. The new year's coming in, which means so much to a lot of people.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the Hall of Fame moments. Sure. But as a quick highlight, what was it like to get in person with an event like the New Year's Eve Bash was?
So it was great. For the last 2 years, we've had to cancel all of our fundraisers, right? And that was our first fundraiser really coming back, was our New Year's Eve event. And man, it was great. It was great to see, again, help, right? Missy Lay. It was a huge help on coordinating all these details. And it's the first time in an event that I've let go. Like, I'm always in every detail of everything. And so for me, it wasn't stressful, which was great. It's like the first time to be able to let that go and to see such an amazing event happen without me having to, every little piece of it all.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. It was, and to be able to enjoy it with my wife, me and her enjoyed it together. And, a lot of our events, we don't get to enjoy together, right? It's that working, it's this and that. So, and I think it's the first time in years that I've stayed up to midnight. So even a little better, a better night.
Bring in the new year. Yeah.
But it was exciting. My brother, his wife came, Trent was there, and just seeing people come together, people coming together for the mission and the vision of Endure. And then seeing a whole nother group that doesn't know Endure Athletics, right? And to get them involved and get them, learning more about what we do. And actually, when I leave here today at 2:00, I'm meeting with somebody who I met at New Year's Eve Bash who wants to get involved in Endure.
That's awesome.
So, it's definitely helping spread in the mission.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, the glitz and glam of the event itself is alluring. It's cool not to have to drive into downtown Nashville and pay for parking and all that stuff.
Valet parking right here, man.
Oh man, it's right in our backyard now. So, and on top of that, obviously benefits Endure Athletics.
Absolutely.
And I want to use that as a transition, because both the Jones Mission and the New Year's Eve Bash were highlights in what we are calling the Hall of Fame moment section of the newsletter. And again, just a quick redefinition of that Hall of Fame obviously coordinates with the athletic theme of Endure Athletics. And we wanted to have a place to celebrate on the ground, everyday circumstances, events, breakthroughs, highlights of what's happening on a daily basis. But also in this particular newsletter for December, it's a great time to kind of look back at the year and say, what really helped us get here? What do we want to highlight on a broader scale as we're going into this new year? And I think all involved Jones Mission rose to the top
Yeah.
of that conversation. So it's really cool to have an organization that is so committed
Yeah.
and does reach
Yeah.
out like they have done on a proactive basis.
Yeah.
And additionally to a great player
Yeah.
on a team that is close, near and dear to the heart of so many of the kids.
Yeah.
I happen to know for sure.
Absolutely.
Can you speak about that kind of that double-sidedness of Ben Jones being the commander of the offensive line,
Yeah.
snapping it and
Yeah.
being a role model on the field, and also just what the organization has done for you?
Yeah. So, you know, we're just a small organization here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. 6 years, 6 years in running right now, and to have somebody of his stature, and I talk about being authentic a lot, right? And like having like I always want to be authentic, with the organization to be authentic. But him and his wife are authentic. They truly want to make a difference in the community. They don't have to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything, but they want to, and they've been involved in so many different ways. And our kids love him. Our kids, are watching him, watching the Titans, and it's just super cool. It's just super cool to quote know somebody, right? That's
Yeah.
playing on Sundays,
Yeah.
that's killing it out there. That's 2,000-yard running back blocker, all those amazing things.
Yeah.
Going in the AFC, playoffs coming up. So yeah, it's super, super, super exciting. I mean, it's for me too. Like
Sure.
I'm excited. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Like I'm fired up. It's
Yeah.
not just for the kids. My daughters are the same way. They're everybody's excited, and it's just super cool.
Mhm.
And again, they don't have to do any of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part of it all. That they want to be involved.
Well, and the symbolism.
And
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things that they're doing this month, or this season, is this is Ben's 10th season.
Mhm.
So they're doing a 10K 60
Cool.
charity challenge. So each month, we were in September. Each month they have changed to a different nonprofit for the next, and then to highlight them has been really cool. And this month is human trafficking month.
Yeah.
So they're doing a human trafficking, and I just think that's super cool too, because that's personal. It's local. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to discuss it, and I just think them using their platform to bring awareness to the human trafficking that's local, regardless if it's Nashville, right here in Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, or whatever. So, it's not all. My point is it's not all exciting stuff.
Right.
Sometimes this stuff is dark, and people don't want to go there, but they're there and bringing attention.
Well, if it hasn't already become clear to the listeners, you really should go check out the Jones Mission. If you're a fan of the Titans, especially, dig into who this guy is, who they together as a couple are, and their organization. It's special. It really is. And I just like, as a storyteller, the symbolism of the commander of the offensive line snapping it, starting every single play, giving the chance for so many at-risk youth across many different spectrums and avenues and circumstances in our town, a chance to start something new, an opportunity for a great play to happen, great moments to come where otherwise they didn't have. So it's just a really cool thing.
It is. I guess the other thing too, to touch on with them is that they're believers.
Yeah.
And what a difference, that they're blessed and they want to bless others. So.
Yeah, really great example. They are Hall of Fame people. They're a Hall of Fame organization, and just felt like, even if it's just a paragraph, wanted to make sure we highlight some of that.
I appreciate it. Because they won't do it. They're too humble, man.
So absolutely a shout out to the Jones Mission, Ben and Alex Jones. Just awesome people, awesome organization, and close, near and dear to the heart of indoor athletics and all the things they've done in the last 4, 5, 6 years. So it's awesome. And then The second part of the Hall of Fame moments was the New Year's Eve Bash
Yeah.
event, and I want to spend not so much of what it was, but what it felt like. You said you had a chance to celebrate with your wife, which
Yeah.
is a rarity in
Yeah.
this business, in this organizational kind of approach. You're just always
Mm-hmm.
doing things to help people and serve. So you have a chance to actually be there and absorb the experience. What was it like for you to be there among the people?
Among the so again, looking at the event itself, and what we brought to downtown Murfreesboro, right? I mean, it was a really classy, nice event, with the valet parking, the Walnut House right in downtown. Um, just the whole atmosphere of it all was just it was classy, relaxing, and it was just really just an amazing event. That's right. Again, I keep going back to local, right? Because it is local. You don't have to go to Nashville. You don't have to go to these places. You can come here. And what I really enjoyed about it is every hour on the hour we celebrated another New Year's in a different part of the country or the world, excuse me. And so, like, if you wanted to come out, enjoy a couple drinks, celebrate in Buenos Aires, then you could go home for the night and still be home with your kids, right? New York City than ours. And anyway, again, it was just great. The atmosphere was great. Meeting new people was great, you know, and letting them know more about our organization. The red carpet was just really cool. I mean, who doesn't want to walk on a red
That
carpet?
sounds cool.
My man Spread the Positive was there. He was doing some interviews,
Yeah.
you know, right there on the red carpet and stuff. So just it's just cool, man, and I'm really excited. And talking about that, I have a 2 o'clock with Missy that we're gonna
Oh,
debrief
nice.
um, about all the positives
Mhm.
and what we can do different for next year.
Yeah,
You know, so I'm excited and ready to go for next year.
that's
So it's
awesome.
just gonna continue to grow and continue to really be a I my goal is to make this a staple of Murfreesboro. This is what you do on New Year's Eve. You're going to come out and support a good cause.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm really glad that it was able to
Yeah, I
happen,
know.
and
If it was about a week later, I'm not quite sure it would have, but we squeaked it in.
squeaked it in, and ushering in hope with it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of really cool things that are coming in
Hmm.
2022, and hitting the ground running, and igniting competitive juices again, and
Yeah.
getting people involved, and
Yeah.
really spreading the news like things on this platform, like the podcast
Yeah.
itself, and getting people to hear it and come alongside with it. And one of my favorite quotes is that faith and doubt are equally logical options, but we choose
We
faith.
choose
So,
faith. Yeah.
and I think that's the theme with so much going on in
Yeah.
our world. There's still a lot of uncertainty, but we're going to choose faith and push forward.
Yep.
And it might seem um, kind of like a weird step down to then highlight an event, but this is an event coming up that in the upcoming events section that we really want to talk
Yep.
about that's, I think, special to you.
It is.
And what is coming up?
So we have our MT Sprint Triathlon, which will be on April 24th. Again, we haven't had this event for the last few years because of COVID.
Right.
Um, but so this will be I don't even know how many years it will since we've taken it over. But it's a great event. It's another local event, right? It's to get seasoned athletes that want to go out and do Ironmans and such. They'll be there. But some of the best to me is talking to the athletes that it's their first time ever doing a triathlon.
Yeah.
And they're nervous, and you're walking them through it, and just um, each step of the way, what you do, how you do it. So I love those days at the day before registration when they're walking
Right.
through and asking all those questions, and to see them finish. Right?
Mhm.
I mean, triathlon's a big deal.
Yeah.
And to see the first timers come across that line and the smiles and all that stuff is super, super, super cool. Thankful for MTSU for letting us host it on campus this year. But yeah, super exciting.
That's exciting. So April 24th, that's coming back. A
Yep.
lot of excitement around that. The the feelings of race day are
Mhm.
infectious.
Yes.
So whether you are competing or not, there is
Yeah.
just this positivity that
Yeah.
kind of permeates in the air. But seeing those competitors,
Yeah.
just persevere through the difficulty is really cool. And that's coming back. So if you're interested at all in,
and this year as well, let me also mention
yeah.
that it will also have a standalone 5K.
Oh, cool.
So for those of you that just want to come out and support us, want to run around, 3.1 miles around MTSU campus. It's all in the run is all in campus.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Beautiful campus. Come out and join us.
Yeah. That's awesome. So a lot of different options. There's a relay too, right?
There's relay. Yep.
So a lot of different options that can meet you where you're at if you want to participate. If you support indoor athletics and want to be there, want to be in it in any form possible, there's ways to do that. So that's coming in April. Plenty of time to stay true to your resolutions here in early January. And
it's not it's only a 300-meter swim.
Oh, nice.
About a 10-mile bike and a 3.1 mile run.
Yeah.
So it's not that's why it's just called a sprint. It's not a long distance. So yeah.
Relatively speaking out there for anybody. But it is a great distance.
Compared to the bigger triathlon.
It is a great distance to get after it and kind of see some of those goals come to fruition and feel good. I mean, about crossing the finish line, regardless of how well you do crossing that finish line.
Just finishing
is yeah. I remember, a few years ago now, I was there as a volunteer, and there was this young man that was just really grinding, and he pushed all the way through, and overcame some difficult circumstances and finished. And I was like, man, that is the picture.
Yeah.
I think we even in the van driving back talked about something like the Endure Award. Like, man, that's just the spirit.
Of it. Yeah.
Of what we're.
I think I remember who you're talking about. Yeah. Did he buy a bike the day before?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. He did it. He finished.
Yeah, it's just amazing. So a lot of cool stories to come in the future on April 24th. So anywhere you can find Endure Athletics website through the link in the bio on Instagram or on the website itself, endureathletics.org/events. You'll see that link there, and you can get all the information you need if you're mulling it over, or you can get registered now. Am I right about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's coming up. That is a review of the month of December, the program highlights. And then looked at some Hall of Fame moments with the Jones Mission, the New Year's Eve Bash. And then we're looking ahead, as we should continue to press on toward the goal of helping these kids and growing a community together. There's so many benefits to what Endure Athletics is doing, not only in the kids' lives, but certainly breaking chains and building foundations and bringing a community together. So that's coming in 2022, and man, come alongside. It's rewarding on many different levels, but we've flipped the script today, and this has been awesome. So thank you,
man.
Thank you for
man. I appreciate you.